obviously now the main event, the one we're all looking forward to, Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. Somebody's dough has got to go. Zach, take it away. Looking forward to this one, gents.
When this fight was announced, I was all over Adesanya. I thought it would be a highlight KO.
Yeah.
His technical striking is too elite, and you see these big power guys that are explosive, and they're too aggressive. And at some point, Izzy's just going to be able to circle out at one point. And I've said it all along. I think a highlight head kick's coming, and it'll put his lights out. But then I rewatched Costa's fight with like Yoel and the way he took Yoel's power, and it was like, man, but I've come full circle again. I'm back on. I think Izzy's technique and his precision and his experience with his kickboxing and stuff. This isn't the first time he's faced a guy that's been physically imposing compared to him. Power
and who will come forward.
Explosiveness. He's going to come at him. And that's exactly what a counter striker like Izzy wants, is a guy that's going to be able to be aggressive and come at him. I mean, does Costa have the power to catch him? Absolutely he does. But, that timing beats speed and precision beats power every time. And I'll take Izzy by a highlight head kick KO in the second round.
Bernard, surely you're going full house for the City Kickboxing Academy, are you?
I have to. This would be this would be an interesting one to say, well, you know what, I think I'll diverge. I actually am in the exact same boat as Zach. I've been through the full circle a couple times on this fight this week. I have sat down and tried to convince myself that Costa's going to win, and then I've sat down and purposefully convinced myself right back. Last night, I was sitting in my living room with my boys hanging out, and we were watching professional kickboxing. Couldn't tell you the last time I did that, but I was watching some Adesanya professional kickboxing matches. I'm taking Izzy by KO. I genuinely don't know when in the fight it's going to happen. I could see it happening in the first round. I could see it happening in the fifth round. I think eventually it's going to happen. I mean, Paulo's big and he's powerful and he trains down there with a bunch of really high level expert professional jiu-jitsu guys. He hits he hits harder than all those jiu-jitsu guys. He's a physical specimen. I could honestly see someday as he gets older, I could see Paulo Costa moving up into light heavyweight if he wanted to. I mean, he's shredded right now. He's got an easy 20 pounds to put on. But hey, you know what? If you want to stay that cut up, it's uncomfortable. But if he wants to stay that cut up, I'd fight at middleweight. I feel it. But Israel Adesanya, I mean, I think he's got 4 losses and I think he's at 90 professional kickboxing wins or something ridiculous like that. I mean, he fights in kickboxing tournaments where they do 3 fights in a night. He is the champion of one of the best divisions in the UFC, and it's in a real good state right now. I think he's a complete striker. It's every single appendage, his left and right elbow, hand, knee, and foot is a weapon that can knock you out, and you can find footage of him knocking somebody out with that appendage. He's too quick defensively. His vision's too good for being able to see when strikes are coming. I don't think Costa's going to be able to load up some crazy hook and take him out or anything like that. I don't think he's going to be able to keep him on the ground and submit him find me somebody that thinks Paulo Costa is going to win this via armbar, and I'll sit down and argue with him for a bit, because I don't think Costa has a path to victory. And that's tough because I really like Paulo Costa, and I like his swagger that he's got as an undefeated fighter in the UFC. And I think that if you remove Adesanya from the division, right now, if he just poofs out and was never there, Paulo Costa would make a really excellent undefeated champion in the middleweight division. But we've already got one, and we're going to have the same one after Saturday, and it's Israel Adesanya.
Love it, Burner. So Paulo Costa, the Eraser, versus the Stylebender, man. This is a matchup of styles if you ever seen one. You got the Berserker the absolute jack. You know, what does he like to call him? A juice monkey or something like that? I don't know. Whatever he likes to call him. But then you got the skinny, tall, lanky, super technical kickboxer Izzy Adesanya. You know, styles make fights, as we all know. And Costa, huge, massive muscles, but is at an 8-inch reach disadvantage. That is massive, especially with someone who's such a technical striker like Izzy. Like, you know what I mean? 8 inches, that's huge. That is so huge. How is he going to cover that distance? What's he going to do? You know what I mean? When I was watching tape on Costa, I love watching tape on him. He's an absolute beast in his own right. He doesn't have the most technical striking, but he likes to go to the body a lot, you know, but you never really see him one punch knockout like people. You never really see it. And I know Izzy's been knocked out in kickboxing. You've seen it a couple of times. Alex Perez or whatever his name is knocked him out a couple of times. But I mean, I just don't see Costa getting in that range. I don't see Izzy giving him that opportunity. We saw what happened with Izzy versus Yoel. Yoel throws that one overhand right. I actually was at that fight, the last live main event and shit. But anyways, and after that, he was just super timid, super, you know, he doesn't want to be in that kind of danger. He felt that power once and he's like, I'm good. He's going to feel that with Costa, obviously, but I think he's just going to be like Zach said, you know, angling off, circling around. And I don't know if he's going to catch him with a head kick, but I could definitely see him, you know, doing what Dominic Reyes did and just circling around and just think, click, crack him from the side. I got Izzy Adesanya, probably via TKO. Like Berner said, I'm not sure what round. I have no idea. It could happen in the first. It could happen in the fifth. But we know Izzy Adesanya could go the full 5 rounds like that with good cardio in a war against Gastelum. So I'm going Adesanya. I'm going the technical striker. I'm going the dude with the 8-inch reach advantage via TKO.
Nice breakdown once again. I'm going with Izzy. I think his technical striking is going to be too much for Costa. I think really the only way Costa wins this is if he makes this an ugly fight, tries to use his strength, keep him up against the cage. But I don't think he's going to be able to. I think he's going to fight too smart of a fight. I think Paulo Costa will eventually end up gassing, and Izzy's going to end up getting the TKO win 4th round. It's going to be my guess. I've tried to make a case for Paulo Costa multiple times. I keep going back and tried to go back and forth. As much as I want to see him win, I just don't know. I just don't see how he does it. So I'm going to go with Izzy TKO 4th round.
I mean, Izzy's movement is it's unrivaled in the division, and I mean, in my personal opinion, in the sport as a whole, which I think will massively frustrate someone like Costa, who's this big and powerful guy, who, I mean, for the most part, has kind of got his way, really. If he doesn't catch him in the first 2 rounds, I don't see him winning this at all. Izzy has the advantage of not only the reach advantage, but also more 5-round fights, I think. You know, he's proved he can come through in wars of attrition, you know, like Kelvin Gastelum. There's another one I'm missing out. I mean, you could say Romero, Tavares, but I suppose they were more dominant fights. So Gastelum's probably the best, the best example. Costa, meanwhile, hasn't fought in a single 5-round fight yet, and I mean, he seemed kind of gassed out at times in the Romero fight as well. I do think he will gas out due to swinging and missing Izzy too often. He'll tire probably around the late 2nd, early 3rd. And I was going to say a decision win for Izzy, but I think you've all convinced me. I'll probably go for a 5th round KO. And also Costa should move to light heavyweight. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Like I said, how he makes 185 is beyond me. That man is huge for 185. Crazy. But obviously, yeah, I think Adesanya literally just outpoints him and on the feet, using his, you know, length and his movement, and his speed is just second to none. There's a decent chance I think Adesanya wins this one in the later rounds. I think personally, Paulo Costa's got 15 minutes to knock him out. Otherwise, you know, it becomes the Israel Adesanya show, because obviously, like you boys have all touched upon earlier, he's had the experience going into the later round, the championship rounds. You know, Adesanya is capable of going into those deep waters and testing Paulo Costa. Whether he's got the cardio, Costa, to sort of last those championship rounds, I'm not too sure. But ultimately, I don't know. I think, as I said earlier, it's just his sheer versatility and his striking approach. I think he will just outpoint Costa in every way. Like I said, on the feet, using his length and his movement. Again, I was thinking, Nathan, mate, honestly, you said you've been swayed to a late finish for Adesanya. I'm not going to be swayed by all of you boys. I'm going to stick to my guns, and I just think Adesanya outpoints him to a decision comfortably. And and still, sorry, Costa, your O's got to go, and unfortunately, you're going to be going up to light heavyweight after this.